goals for you today. Free access to Title Toolbox. But like I said, that's our #1 resource at Chicago Title, where you can pull all that amazing data. So make sure you check that box. We're going to talk about how you can learn the most effective direct mail strategies. I'm going to share the whole variety of ways to do things. Today's going to kind of be like a buffet. Like I'm going to share a bunch of stuff. You kind of pick and choose the stuff that you like, that you think sounds cool. We never want you to get overwhelmed, but we want to share enough ideas with you where you can decide on what your strategy is and what makes sense. I feel like a DJ up here. This is exciting.
DJ Jerad.
Maybe I'll quit Title and just be a DJ. Okay, then we're going to talk about how we take our farm area and we can also be online digitally. And one way that I love to show agents how to do that is by running these targeted digital Facebook and Instagram ads where we can geofence and target just your farm area. We actually combine doing this with downloading our data and getting the contact information, the phone numbers and email addresses through that resource Title Toolbox. We're able to upload that into Facebook, the Meta Business Suite, and that allows us to actually take that data and stay in front of your actual farm area at a very, very low cost for about a half a penny, which I find amazing because your average direct mail piece might cost you somewhere, I don't know, let's say anywhere from 60 cents to, I don't know, $1.50 plus. I can spend half a penny and show someone a Facebook and Instagram ad and stay in front of them. So I think without a doubt, if you're sending direct mail or spending a lot of money on your farm, you got to be running ads to them. Okay, go ahead.
Does anybody ever see Chicago Title ads in their social media?
Good. Ray, can I get a hand actually on that? That makes me feel good. I run those ads. Good.
So Jerad
All right.
runs them. We have a list of real estate agents. If you don't see them, you'll probably, hopefully we don't bug the junk out of you, but that's how we do our marketing, is through Facebook and Instagram ads, and Jerad runs them. So what he's about to teach you is actually what we do.
So I'm a big believer and I practice what I preach, right? So I personally, right, again, we're both in sales, of course. My target audience is all of you, right, to get you over to Chicago Title. But I send direct mail, I run Facebook ads, I run Instagram ads, I run Google ads. I do classes and events, right? I do it all that way, right? I build my own website. I do all this stuff. That way when I sit down with each agent who has different specific needs, I'm able to confidently talk to you each about what's working, what's not working, because I'm out in there in the field doing it myself. Okay, moving on here. We don't need this slide because you all have that piece of paper in front of you. Piece of paper in front of you, I believe it's the blue QR code. Just printed those out fresh off the printer. If you want a copy of that slide deck, you can go ahead and scan that QR code. You can decide now or later. What will happen is when you scan that QR code, it's going to take you to a landing page on my website, milehighTitleGuy.com. You plug in your name and email address, and as soon as you do that, it's going to instantly email over this slide deck, as well as actually the slide decks for every single class I teach. It will also, full disclosure, send you 2 video emails a month from me. In my opinion, nothing but value, no spam. I'm just sharing other real estate marketing ideas, tools, resources, as well as live links where I invite you to upcoming classes and events like this, as well as some more exclusive things. So that's what's going to happen if you scan that QR code. Okay, that's done. Should we farm a neighborhood? I think so. Maybe we should farm a neighborhood. So let's just start from the beginning, right? I know some of you are farming, some of you are thinking about it, getting started. So we want to cover all bases here. Step 1 is to figure out, where the heck are you going to farm? What do you want to farm? What are your metrics? And also, while you're thinking about that, you need to think about what's your budget, right? Because I'll have agents approach me and they'll say, hey, like pull me a bunch of homes in this area. I'm like, well, how much do you want to spend? How much do you want to spend a month? Because that's going to quickly determine how many homes you want to hit. And if we just say on average, you're going to spend $1 per home at a minimum every single month, right? You can quickly kind of back into how many homes you want to spend and get on that. When you're looking at a farm area, I think there's a couple different approaches. And there's kind of 2 avenues, I think, when you're an agent. Some agents just want to try it out. They're like, I'm just going to try this out. I don't know about it. And I say, cool. If you're going to try it out and maybe you don't know if you're going to commit long term, maybe we go after just a list of the homes most likely to sell, right? Let me pull a list for you of all the homes most likely to sell. You're just going to try to get lucky and go in on those. Cool. Good luck. That's one avenue. The other avenue is, hey, like I live here or I'm in this neighborhood a lot. Like I want to own this place, right? Like I walk my dog, whatever. I'm here with my kids at the playground. Like this is where I live and breathe. I'm not going anywhere, and I want to take over this place, right? That's where we're going to be pulling those properties. And with that, we want to look at specific parameters of that farm. Does it even make sense? And unfortunately, I meet with a lot of agents who will jump this step, right? It's the data analytics side of us, which sometimes we just kind of skip over that. And it's the most important part, okay? So what that means is we want to look at what's their turnover ratio within, like, say, the last 12 months. How many homes are selling? What's that percent? Now, numbers get thrown around. I generally throw out, you want a turnover ratio of at least 6% or higher. Of course, that's a debatable number depending on the average price of the home. But you want to see how many homes have even sold in the last 12 months, 24 months, 36 months. And does it even make sense to spend money in here? Or are these people buying these homes, or are they forever homes and they just moved in there? So that's critical. Also, what's the average sale price, right? That's the other side of this turnover ratio thing. I remember I was helping an agent in a very nice neighborhood, and I think the turnover ratio was like a 4. There weren't that many homes, but they were averaging $1.8, $1.5 million homes. So she was like, if I could just get one, I'm willing to gamble, right? And let's be honest, this is part gambling. But when you really break down farming, I think it's 2 things, right? It's data and it's marketing, right? And within both of those categories, it's like you got to have the best data, otherwise you're wasting your time and money. That's so important. And then also, what are you doing marketing? What are you sending? If you're sending something, what's the call to action, right? Are you giving people the right reasons to reach out to you or to take that first step to get to know you? And it's so critical. And then also another one is just understanding what are the demographics, right? Like if you really know your neighborhood or need to know your neighborhood, are you driving around and figure out like who lives here? Or if you pulled the list, right? How long have people owned these homes? Like what's the vibe? Is it like up and coming families? Is it an older demographic? Is it empty nesters, right? That's important too. So you need to know who your audience is so that you can communicate with them in the right way on the right marketing channels so that they can connect with you. And of course, right, you can earn their business. Good so far? Any questions? By the way, I'm very laid back when I teach, so you can just yell at me if you have anything to say. All right, next up, this is a fun one. Look at your competition. Has anyone ever, I don't know, stalked their competition in their farm area? Okay, this is a good one, and how we do that is we log into the MLS. Okay, you all have access to your local MLS, and we go to the mapping feature of the MLS. We use the polygon tool. We map around our farm area. We then search anything that's sold within that neighborhood, within that area, within the last 12, 24, 36 months. Go back 36 months. We take everything that's sold, right? Maybe is active, under contract. We can then look at all those results and we can filter by listing agent. Is there a listing agent that is dominating that area? Maybe they have 20, 25% plus market share. If they do, I've only seen it once, but if they do, generally the rule of thumb is it's hard to break into. But it's good to just look at that. And also too, in my opinion, I want to know who I'm competing against. If there's someone else in this neighborhood, and I want to go see what they're doing. So I would encourage you to take that step and do that too. Take your 5-minute exercise. Next up, strategize. Okay, I think sending direct mail, spraying and praying is not enough. I think you got to have layers to farming. I think if you're just going to spend money and send direct mail, maybe you get lucky. I hear those stories every once in a while. But I think if you really want to lean into it, it's in addition to if you're going to send direct mail or door knock or focus on open houses within that area. It's a combination of things. It's really getting to those neighbors. I'm a big fan of events. Last time we taught this class to an office, there's this incredible team that is really leaning into this, and they're doing 2 events a month. And they're really getting to know the neighbors, and they're using that as an opportunity. I think in-person events just take everything to the next level. I think all this online stuff and direct mail stuff is great, but then, right, you got to get belly to belly, you got to get face to face with these people, and that's where you're going to really elevate that relationship. Lastly, execute, right, and then automate. I'm going to show you some tools to save time so that you can get some of that time back and just automate some things out. Okay. So Let's keep going here. I want to show you some things. So let's just hit it right off the bat with direct mail. Has anyone heard of corefact.com? COREFACT. Okay, let's start with CoreFact. CoreFact is a company that you can sign up for. There's no monthly fee, annual fee. You can try it out. They do a ton of things, but what I really like about CoreFact is they send a personalized, individualized direct mail piece to every single property you choose. So what does that mean? Does anyone ever heard of Homebot? Homebot maybe, yeah. The way I describe them is they're the Homebot of direct mail. Okay, so what they do is say, Ben, I'm the real estate agent, Jerad, and I'm sending a mailer to Ben, right? You can pick any style, anything you want, but what you're really paying for is this mapping technology right here. If Ben receives my mailer right here, this is Ben's home lit up on this screen. Those are actual properties that have sold within the last 12 months around Ben's property. Okay, those are his street addresses. On there is an individualized QR code specifically created just for Ben. If Ben scans that QR code, I can get a notification. And I know Ben at 123 Main Street scanned my QR code. If Ben scans that QR code, it's going to take him to a landing page for his property that's going to give him a rough value range of how much his home is worth. Are these things perfect? Absolutely not. Sometimes I'll get agents that are like, well, these are terrible. I'm like, cool, we'll use it as an opportunity to show up with a CMA or whatever and give them an accurate one. This is just great insight for you if you're going to spend this money and invest. I think it's a great first step call to action. And then you also know who the heck is scanning these things, who may have it just somewhat of a question of, how much is my home worth? I don't know. Let's find out. You can customize this. You can change it however you want. You can make the map smaller, bigger, right? But what you're paying for is the QR code technology and that mapping technology. So depending on how you're going to send, most people, again, everyone's different, but we could do the 4x6. You're going to be under, $100 to get this thing out the door. You can create it online. This is a very user-friendly website, and they send it via bulk mail. Any questions on CoreFact? Okay, you guys are quiet. Next up, Robot Inc. Marketing. Has anyone heard of Robot Inc. Marketing? No. I found about Robot Inc. because they were sending me Instagram ads about 18 months ago. And small company, they're growing fast, but I actually just called them up and talked to one of the founders. And their story is this was created by wholesalers, real estate investors, who were just trying to do things differently to try to find deals. So what they do is they basically, I guess, have like a warehouse of robots with like pens that will like handwrite out, right, the return address and the address of your envelope. You can see here, this is what they're known for. They claim they have a high open rate, is a handwritten looking envelope with an actual real stamp on it. And then you control what's inside. So I guess here's their machines. So we got to think, right? Like people get sent so much stuff. We live in this fast-paced environment. You're getting tons of emails and all these ads. I forget what the stat is, but it's crazy how many times someone's getting marketed to every single day. But like, how do we think outside the box? Think of something different that someone's going to say, hey, what is this? I haven't seen this before. Maybe I'll open this up. All right. They claim a higher response rate, 6 to 8%. That's fantastic. But if you're looking for something different, again, Robot Inc. Marketing. If you do end up using them, and if you send at least 500, I worked out just like honestly, it's just a benefit to you guys. I don't get paid or anything. They'll do them for $1.10 per envelope. I think they charge a bit more now. I want to say like $1.50 or so, but $1.80. Wow, they went up. But yeah, they'll do them. So that's Robot Inc. Marketing. Any questions on Robot Inc. Marketing? Okay. Next up.
If they have a minimum?
A couple hundred, I think. Yeah, a couple hundred. I think they're still kind of small though, where you can kind of work out a deal with them. All right, thanks.io. Has anyone heard of thanks.io? Yeah? Yeah, you're the first real estate agent that's heard of it. That's great. How'd you hear about it?
I have no idea.
All right, but you heard about it. So I love thanks.io. Okay, they are what I personally use if I want to send stuff. Okay, so thanks.io. How I found out about them was I was looking for. I want to send a direct mail piece where I could like control the QR code. And other companies, right, like CoreFact, I called them up. I was like, can I change the QR code? I want to send them to the home evaluation. I want to send them to my website where I have a video embedded there, and I want them to watch it. And thanks.io allows you to do that. So what thanks.io is, it does many things, but the reason why I like it and use it is you can also choose like a handwritten style for a mailer where you can pick like a Sharpie or a pen or a scribble, and I can send that on a postcard or an envelope. I can do whatever I want, but what I like them is that when I send my mailer to Ben, same deal. It's an individual mailer. Every single one is unique, and that QR code has that tracking technology, and I can control where I take you anywhere on the internet. I know an agent that uses this, and this is just another idea, where he'll send them to his Instagram. This is a completely great idea. It's a lot of work, but this guy's big investor into farming, 5 figures a month kind of thing. But he's got a whole Instagram social media account for the neighborhood, and it's things going on. It's things going on in that neighborhood. It's not just household. It's, hey, here's upcoming events for January and February. And I'm like, man, I wish there was a realtor in my neighborhood that would do that. I'd love to follow that. I always want to know what's going on. So please do that. And he'll drive them to that Instagram, and then he'll have them follow the Instagram, and then he'll run targeted ads to them through the Instagram, which is really cool. But you can see here, again, it's a pretty user-friendly one. You can actually use Canva and work out of Canva, or you can upload a mailer. But let's just say, boom, right? Sure, I want to send this one. On the back side, they've got the handwritten style, right? So I can type in here whatever I want. You can see here I sent one to my grandma. And you can write whatever you want. You can choose the style. There's all these different handwritten styles that it will load. You can get scribbled. You can get normal. And then top right corner, you can't see it here, but then the QR code will show up when they print it out and send it, and I can control where I want to send that mailer. Does that make sense? Another reason why. Question?
I said yes, it makes sense.
Good, thank you.
I'll talk for you.
Thanks for talking. It's way more fun. This is a safe place, you guys. You can talk. Okay.
Being so quiet over so long.
You can also schedule stuff out, right? So you can see here, I've got like my clients in here. I uploaded them. First I got all their birthdays, which I'll share with you a quick hack. And then I uploaded just a CSV file with their name, their info, and their birthdays. And you can tell thanks.io, hey, send this birthday mailer. So ideally they receive this a couple days before their birthday, which is perfect because I want to be the first one to wish them a happy birthday before they get inundated with all those happy birthdays. And then, they flip it over, they scan the QR code. It's a really cheesy 15-second video of me, saying happy birthday, stop watching this, go enjoy your birthday. And that's just on autopilot. But you could take this concept, you could apply it to home anniversaries. You could apply it in so many different ways. Again, this is a way where you could save time, be one level closer to being more personalized, but still use technology to your advantage to get that extra touch and stay in front of your database, your farm area, etc. One more. Does anyone ever send out gift cards? No gift cards. All right, gift cards. Lisa sends gift cards. Okay, quick on gift cards. If you ever mail out gift cards or anything like that, you got to go to that store or whatever. Maybe you got to buy it in advance. One thing that's cool also about thanks.io that they're famous for is that you can take a mailer, like a postcard like this. You can pick any of the companies that you send your gift card to. And same concept, you send them the postcard and it says, hey, here's $10 to Starbucks or whatever, right? They have to scan that QR code though, and basically save it, download it or whatever, and you don't get charged unless the person does that. Does anyone know the stat on how much how many gift cards are out there that never get spent. It's insane. It's like billions of dollars. So instead of you buying those gift cards up front, Lisa, and mailing them out, and maybe some of them, I mean, I've got a stack of gift cards that I found in my wife's car the other day. I'm like, this is from like 15 years ago. Anyway, gift cards. Okay, that's thanks.io. Any questions on thanks.io? Cool? How am I doing? Anything good, maybe?
No question.
No questions. Okay. All right. Next up, Boomerang direct mail. Who uses Boomerang? A couple of us. Okay. So Boomerang direct mail is your local, they do a few things, but they are your local direct mail piece. You can upload to your farm area. I know a lot of agents will use this actually for their database. They'll do a Boomerang to their database where it's local coupons, buy one, get one free, free admission, that is based on where you're sending to. Okay, so they're actually, I think they're based out of Colorado, right, Ben?
Yeah.
And so you can see here, right? You can click into Colorado, and you can click into your area, and they'll send offers, right? Buy one, get one free, right? Boom, all these different spots for local businesses within that area. So it's fun, right? You get a good one. You know, I think some are really good. Some, you know, they're hit or miss. But, you know, someone takes it, hey, I'm going to get this. They put it up on the fridge. It's some subliminal marketing, right? Your face name is there. Maybe they go and use it. Some agents will send this to their sphere, you know, follow up with them. So that's Boomerang direct mail. Cool? Cool. Any questions so far? Okay. One more for you. I don't have it on here. I got a couple more. Kohler Marketing. Here's another one. They're also doing direct mail and stuff, and they've got mailer campaigns, which is fun. Dude, I'm blanking on the one. I shared it last class. The one where they also do like, they'll do like the farmers markets and the things coming up for January. It's localized. White Knight, that's what it is. I want to show you guys White Knight too.
White Knight is a company. It's based out of Lakewood, so they're fairly local. Those guys, if you, one, they'll customize whatever marketing piece you want, and the other part on that is they might do a little research. If you tell them you want farmers markets in Northeast Colorado Springs, they might just put that together for you. So if you need their, I think their contact info is on there, but if you want like the guy's phone number, Jerad and I can give it to you, and they can make whatever.
Yep. So White Knight Marketing, if you want localized, you know, things to do, right? Whatever, different schedules, baseball, football, whatever, free days. White Knight Marketing is your local company. Check them out. If you want to just have a set it and forget it approach, they've got that 12-month campaign where you just upload your people, they get them sent out, right? You get these different schedules, you put them up on the fridge, right? Again, subliminal marketing. So White Knight Marketing, huge fan of them. Every time, I've only heard good things every time I've heard them.
Good.
Yeah.
They can be, you know, a Vistaprint or whoever you use for your marketing is running a campaign. Sometimes that, you know, companies like that are cheaper. But most of the time, more often than not, those guys, if you do any sort of direct mail, those guys are going to be more cost effective. Normal.
Yep. I'm going to throw this on here because I always forget that. Boom. All right. Cool. So we hit through these, Coverfact, Robot Inc. I just wanted to show you them. All right, let's talk about a little email marketing. So a couple of you raised your hand. You're sending an email to your farm. Is that a personal email? Is it something else? Is it a catered? What is it? Anyone want to share? Yeah, Lisa? Good for you. You're doing something though.
Yeah.
Right? And that's always the hardest part.
People off because they all unsubscribe.
Ah, shoot. Okay. All right. So most of you raised your hand when you said Homebot. Can you raise your hand if you're using Homebot? Okay. Couple of you. So Homebot, right? So for those of you that don't know what Homebot is, I like it. I think for the value, I'm all about like how much am I going to spend? What's my value? Homebot, the way I sum it up is you can upload your database, I guess in theory, right? I'm not telling you to do this, but I know a lot of agents that do. You could upload your farm area. And it's a personalized email that goes out to that person, right? You have their address that gives them updates once a month on their property. Okay. I think for the cost, I mean, the fact that I can spend $25 a month and get up to 500 contacts uploaded, to me, that's a no-brainer. I have a buddy who used to work at Homebot. He was telling me their open rate, email open rate, is a very low number. I mean, 5% maybe. I'm just making that up, but it's low. He was claiming there's somewhere around 70% open rate, which is insane for email.
That's true. Yeah, they really are. Yeah.
I mean, I get mine, you guys. I get mine, right? This is what it looks like for those of you that don't know, right? Your home value estimate is ready. Simple, right? Click, see your value, it loads. And it's fun because it's all about you, and that's what people want, right? They want all about you. You see it, this is your estimated home value, it goes up, down. Again, it's not perfect, but they kind of dangle these little carrots here, right? If you disagree, I'm going to tune that value. What do I think it's worth, right? And there's little things that are being triggered when you're touching stuff. So in the background, right, that's an opportunity for you to reach out. So they're always kind of dangling those carrots for you to click on, right? How much equity do you have? How much have you paid for it? Does it make sense to refinance? Nope, does not make sense to refinance. Okay. Monthly revenue if I want to do an Airbnb. So just fun little things, and that's it. That's all it is. And again, it's when we get back to marketing, right? It all comes down to like how many channels can I be on? In person, phone call, text, email, events, direct mail, right? Face to face. This is a great one because you can automate it out. People look at it. Even if they don't look at it, they don't unsubscribe, Lisa. We don't unsubscribe. Your name's still popping up once a month. And they're just seeing your name. And that's good enough for me. So that's Homebot. Any questions on Homebot? Nope. Okay.
My lender put my house on it, and I open the email every single month. I'm just curious what the value has done. So for an end-all consumer that sees it, I open it.
Yeah.
I don't put my own.
There we go. Yeah. Totally.
Question.
Yes.
Do you know anything about how Homebot compares to Home IQ?
It's a really good question. Home IQ. So the question was, how does Homebot compare to Home IQ? So my understanding is that I guess some smart people left Homebot to help start Home IQ. I don't know a ton about it because I've got a little gripe to pick with Home IQ. I was set up for a Zoom session with someone to teach me how to do it, and they totally flaked on the Zoom, and I couldn't get a hold of them. So I actually just gave up on them. But my understanding is they have some of that predictive analytics, right? So you can kind of lean into where they score people from 100% down on, who's most likely to sell their home. And they look at all these advanced data analytics on, hey, what's the score of this person selling their home? So that's all I know. I know they're a competitor. I know some smart people left there, and I think there's some sort of legal dispute. But that's it. Okay, event ideas. Raise your hand again if you're doing events. How many events a year? 4 events. Once a quarter?
Yeah.
Okay. Events? Once a quarter? Once a year. Okay. Okay, I love that. Charity event's a great one. It's a great one because of a number of reasons. 1, you get to support a charity, right? 1, you get to bring people together. 2, 3, I feel like, I don't know, because I'll do charity events also. I feel like I'm not like bothering people as much when I'm like, hey, do you want to come to my event at Bloom where we're doing a coat drive, right? Or we're doing a toy drive for kids. I'm going to have a happy hour. Come on by, bring a coat, right? I mean, that's amazing, right? I know an agent that does a charity event every single quarter. And I think it's an easy, low pressure one to do because you're coming from a point of supporting something that you believe in and care about is a charity event. Of course, we got tons of events, right? This comes back to your demographics. You got to know who's in your neighborhood. Is it young families? Is it older demographics? Because that's going to affect what you're doing, right? Whether it's the Easter egg hunt for the kids, the pumpkin carving, the painting, the giving out the pies, right? Costco pies. Anyone did the Costco pies? They're huge and they're like $6. That's a loss leader for them, right? Oh my goodness. We did a pie giveaway for Chicago Title. The shredder event, I never understood the shredder event, but every like team I talk to that does that says it's a huge hit. People love to shred their stuff, I guess. I know like this one team that makes a big party out of it, and they'll bring in like a DJ. I love that too. Like lean on like the other businesses within your area and get them involved, right? Because they could benefit from this, and you could partner together and basically make your events bigger because they're going to know people and you're going to know people, and that partnership's going to be even bigger. So again, that would be a huge encouragement to you is get your local businesses involved when you're doing your events, your farming. Junk removal, garage sales. Buddy of mine, his name's Chris George, he just crushes it with the garage sales. He'll go around, he'll get like, I want to say he told me like 50, 70 homes to do like a combined garage sale event, and he got a couple of listings out of it. So garage sales, I love that. Right? Charity events, the ice cream truck, back to social, bringing in the food trucks. Those are fun. This one team that farms in, they're big on the food trucks. They'll survey. I love that. They'll survey, hey, what should we do next? They get the neighborhood involved. That way they're bringing what the neighborhood wants, and people actually want to show up. Oh, they're serving hibachi. I said hibachi. I'll be there, right? And then they're collecting data. Hey, get on our list. Make sure you know when the next event is. And again, I feel like that's a low pressure way to offer value and not feel like you're selling anything. And people are going to figure out you're in real estate because you're going to have those conversations. Your branding is going to be there, but you don't need to annoy them. Movie night, I've seen that. Movie night in the park. I've seen the renting out the movie theaters. Me, right? Dad, 3 young kids. Holy cow, I love the photos. I'm fortunate enough to get invited to a lot of these events. There's this one brokerage every quarter. They know their audience, they know their database, and it's a lot of like families, a lot of kids. And every quarter they're going to do an event, whether it's at the zoo, and they'll do like an evening out at the zoo, and they'll always hire a photographer, and you can book your time slot with that photographer. Or you got holidays, you got Santa, right? There's this one realtor I'm thinking of. He'll always go big in the fall. He'll actually do it at his house within his farm area. And he'll have like hay, and he'll have pumpkins, and he'll have painting, and he'll bring in music, and he'll have a photographer there. And it's just a lot of fun, and people look forward to these every single year. I know I look forward to getting invited to them now because it's always so hard to get those photo shoots, and when you get them and you get a good photo with your family, you cherish that, and you're like, oh yeah, that broker put it on, and that was so much fun. So those are my thoughts on neighborhood events. Thoughts, questions, feelings? Okay. All right. Open houses. Who's leaning into open houses? Yeah? Yeah? Anyone want to share your strategy? When you're doing your open house, are you door knocking in the area? Yes. Are you doing any sort of voicemail drops to the area? I'll share that idea in a sec. Anything else? Are you doing an exclusive neighbors only open house? People love to feel exclusive. That's another idea. Yep, if you want to really kind of get some traction with the neighbors, hey, I'm doing exclusive open house, whatever, maybe the night before, Friday night, I'll have food, drinks, come by, stop by, even if you're not interested, come check it out, because we're trying to find someone, and I know you love whatever, Judy and Joe Smith who own this home. So maybe if you want to stop by and look at it, maybe someone comes to mind that could help you, help them, right? Because that's fun when the neighbors do get along and they want to help each other, and you can use that as another reason to have people show up to this, right? Another way you can take this a step forward. I heard this I'm a big fan of Tom Ferry. I follow him a lot. Know some successful teams that will do the exclusive open house invite for just the neighbors, and then they'll have like goodie bags with like pre-prepared CMAs or whatever, Zillow estimates, however you want to do it, that are already there for all the people showing up, right? And again, it's just the stats aren't good, let's be honest, on the open house where someone's actually going to walk in and be like, this is the house, this is it. Tom Ferry says it's like 1% or lower, so it's very low, but it's an opportunity for you to get more deals, right? And I think if you really lean into these the right way, from picking, if you can be choosy, if you can pick the right price point, and you can also then really lean in and have time to market it and brand it from everything to putting up your signs to letting the neighbors know to getting the word out beforehand, I think you can really blow it up. Question?
I call it a pick your neighbors open house, so that they can see the house and think of their friends that wants to move into that neighborhood.
I love that. Pick your neighbor's open house. Yes, right? Even if you're not interested. Yeah, come on by because they're going to be living near you. Help us find the right person. And then, of course, the follow-up, which we can always get into, that strategy. There's a ton of different ways you can do that, is following up with them through the open houses. There's a ton of different things I've seen, whether it's, hey, the home seller for security purposes is telling everyone to sign in, or hey, just sign in here. I've seen the sign-in sheet. I've seen the tablet. I like the CRMs and the apps that just do it for you. Those are fun. Make it super easy. And I think also it's important to let people know that you are going to follow up with them, right? Hey, I am going to follow up with you after this because I just want to get your thoughts and feelings, whether it's on the price point or what do you think, and if you do know anyone, right? That way, people aren't surprised. Anyone running Google ads? Yeah, nice. Okay.
I've had people show up at the open house from Eventbrite that I put a Google ad to the Eventbrite.
Good for you.
And then I always say, how'd you hear about the open house? And when they said, or I'm sorry, I didn't do Google ads. I did Facebook ads.
Sure.
And she said Facebook, and I was like, wow, it worked.
Yeah. I'll touch on Google ads real quick. I described Google ads as like Facebook ads 5 years ago. For those of you that don't know, Facebook, I guess, call them Meta. Facebook many years ago got in trouble with fair housing because their ads were, you could do too many things, which then violated fair housing rules. But back in the day, it was like the glory days of running Facebook ads where you could target by income brackets, people most likely to move, right? And all these categories that were like scarily, I don't think that's the word I'm going to use it, scarily good. And it was a lot of fun if you were doing these because they were cheap too because no one was doing them. Well, Google ads, fast forward Facebook. Now, if you run an ad on Facebook, when you check that real estate box, if you want to run anything real estate related, your minimum area that you can run to is a 15-mile radius. You can't target all those likely movers and stuff. It's very limited, unfortunately. I'm going to show you a loophole how to get through that. Stay tuned. But Google, you can still do that, and you can still get pretty close to like a mile in. So maybe you want to blanket a neighborhood and stuff. And Google, there's so many different types of ads, but there's some really good ones. I'm a big fan of the non-skippable YouTube ads because they're very, very inexpensive to run. Those are those annoying ads where you have to wait 5 seconds before you watch the YouTube video. The way Google charges you for it is they don't charge you. If your video is longer than 30 seconds, they don't charge you unless someone watches that ad for at least 30 seconds or longer. So let's be honest, most of the time we don't, right? So that means if I'm smart and I can get my message in within 5 seconds, that's free advertising in my opinion. And I can target a 1 mile radius and I can target homeowners and I can target more nitty gritty categories through Google ads to the people that I want. So that's why I say Google ads are kind of like Facebook ads 5-6 years ago. Facebook and Instagram ads, we are going to talk about that. Here's why I love Facebook and Instagram ads. I truly believe if you are in a sales profession, or if you own and run a business where you have repeat and or referral clients, I truly believe you should be running Facebook and Instagram ads. The short reason why is because they're incredibly targeted if you know how to set them up, and they're incredibly cheap. We all know how to spend/waste money in this business. I'm sure we've all done there. We've just spent money and hoped it worked. With Facebook and Instagram ads, when you set these up properly, you can run these ads for as low as $1 per day. And roughly, on average, for every dollar that you spend on a Facebook and Instagram ad, you can reach and have your ad shown about 100, 200 times. So think about that, right? 100, 200 people for $1. So that means like on average, I can spend a half a penny and stay in front of Ben on autopilot because we can schedule these out. So they're so cheap. They're so inexpensive. So I truly believe in running these ads. Now, who here's like boosted a post? boosted a post, right? Okay, how'd that go? Yeah, it's like I describe boosting a Facebook and Instagram ad as like the kind of the gateway drug to like running like targeted ads, in the sense that like you press the button, it feels good, you throw $50 at it, you get like 50,000 impressions or whatever. Nothing happened, you didn't like get any like leads out of it, but it felt good when you did it, and a lot of people saw it. That's great. What you can't do when you boost a post, though, is you can't do some of the advanced things that we do when I sit down with you and we show you how to set up your Meta Business Suite. And what you can do when you're setting up your Meta Business Suite is you can target advanced audiences, such as a list, right? A customer list. You can see here top right corner, whether that's your database, or we're going into Title Toolbox, we're getting your farm area, we're buying all the phone numbers and email addresses, and we're downloading that. And now we're hitting your farm area with Facebook and Instagram ads, because we can upload this list. So your database, your farm area, maybe you paid for leads and you want to like recycle them and throw them in here. I've got agents that have done that. You can recycle your leads and throw those in there. Another great category that I love is right here. If you are on Instagram, you can target people who are engaging with your Instagram account, people who are starting to follow your Instagram account. You can retarget all those people. If you have a Facebook business page, which you need in order to run these advanced ads, you can target people who like or follow your Facebook business page, which to me is a slam dunk. And I get it, not everyone likes or follows your page, but for those that do, you can just hit them with an ad. So what we do is when we sit down, we set up these brand awareness ads where we run them typically at $1 a day, and we schedule them out to run basically for a month. And we say, hey, here's your ad for January, here's your ad for February, March, April. And if you can commit to $30 a month, which most of you can stay top of mind. For those of you that raised your hand and you're seeing these ads for the Chicago Title Colorado Springs, I'm running those at $1 a day, okay? And they're effective because we're targeting just people. This is the loophole through running real estate ads. So you can target and run and hit these people and still check that real estate box. Okay, these are called custom audience ads. Any questions so far? Okay, so let's do this. First, I want to show you Title Toolbox. I know we're coming up on time here. It's already 11:20. I'll try to get you guys out here by 11:30, so I got 12 minutes. This is Title Toolbox. So when I get you set up with an account, you'll have a free account. Chicago Title helps make this happen. And when you log in, you're going to see a map, right, of whatever area we log in for. We can scroll down here. And what you're going to do, there's 3 tabs really up top, right? There's the property search tab, the farming tab, and the statistics tab. If you just want to do a one-off property search and quickly pull information on a property, maybe you want to see if there's any loans on the property, any kind of weird things, you can do that right here, okay? If you want to now get into your farm area and you want to map it out and get data on it, you can use one of these 3 tools. You can do the radius search, you can do the boundary search, which is that polygon tool where we map it out, right? And then we do the area search. If you're not at that step yet where we're ready to figure out where we want to farm, then we will use the statistics tab. And the statistics tab, same concept, right? And we could start super vague. We could say, all of El Paso County. Let's just pull, say I want to hit, a minimum of, 50 to say 300 homes, and I want to hit El Paso, boom, 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 right? We can now quickly just run a wide search. Let me change this. I got to get more category here. And we can filter and pull based off of literally the highest turnover ratio and work our way down. So if you're completely I have no idea where to start, this might be a great place for you to start. Look at the data, look at the numbers, look at the turnover ratios, look at the average home price. You can see now, look in here. Let me zoom in a little bit. Boom, 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 boom. And now you can see, all right, starting from the top, turnover ratio, starting at 13.86%, working its way down. Number of homes within that property tract, average sale price, average year owned. All this data is within here. So now you can cherry pick and choose where you even want to start if you're looking for that turnover rate. Hey, one kind of advanced tip, okay, that you need to be aware of though if you're doing this, you got to be careful when you're looking at neighborhoods where it's a new build community, right? Because what is turnover rate? It's looking at anything that's sold in the last 12 months. If you see a really high turnover ratio, it's probably not real because if you zoom in, it's probably a new build community and a lot of properties have just sold. So that turnover ratio is getting inflated. So be mindful of that. Okay, let's just do a quick pretend here. Let's say we want to run a search. Any sort of search you run, whether it's a radius search, you map your farm area out, whatever. This is the screen that's going to pop up. When this screen pops up, you can work your way from left to right, and you can add additional filters within Title Toolbox, right? We've got all the basic stuff, right? Say you want to hit, sure, I want to hit owner-occupied homes, cool. Maybe I want to hit single-family res and condos. But here in this drop-down, just to show you all, I mean, you got every type of property under the sun. So don't think of this just as like a farming tool, right? Also think of this as a tool where you might have that buyer that's looking for, I don't know, a duplex, or maybe they're looking for an equestrian property. Pull all the equestrian. I have an agent that did that. They pull all the equestrian properties, pull the contact info. They started calling these people up to see if they would sell their property to a willing and able buyer. So there's so many unique ways you can use this system from both sides.
The other thing I'll add while Jared's going on to his next one is we can give you access to this, and we use it all the time. So don't be afraid to reach out to Jared or myself or anyone at Chicago Title. And it could be late at night. Jared and I work. If we're awake, Jared and I are working. So if you want us to help you pull the list and work the list, we're happy to do it too. So
Ben's right. You're totally right. I could do this with my eyes shut. So one thing I'll do is if you just tell me the north, south, east, west boundaries of what you're trying to pull, right? Ben and I can log in here, map it out for you. Hey, you want next sellers, you want empty nesters, you want homes that, let's filter out, only owner occupied and filter out homes that have sold in the last 2 years, cool. And then we can actually create your account and save it in your account, or we can just download it for you. So here's how it works too. Anything from left to right, all through these categories, any sort of list you want to download, completely free, okay? Chicago Title, right? We help support you on that. So those lists, any sort of addresses you can download. Other categories that are fun in here, popular ones, tons of stuff. You can do zoning code. You can filter by, rough estimated value. Maybe you're in a neighborhood where it's a mix of high and low values. You want to only target the high value properties. You can do that. Next sellers, right? Statistically, who's most likely going to sell in the next 12 months? You could turn that one on if that makes sense. Empty nesters, maybe you are going after that empty nester, right? That person who's lived there for say 30 plus years in a big home. And you want to, that's kind of your niche. All that stuff's in here. Now, once we jump right here to this tab, that's where you have to start spending a little bit of money. This is the Premier Data tab. When you click on this, watch what happens. 3 tabs are going to appear. 3 tabs working from right to left. The first one is the phones and emails, okay? So if we did want to take that list and get the phones and emails, it's 5 cents per phone number, 7 cents per email. So all in, 12 cents a record. So in theory, right, math, every 100 homes, if we had all the phones and emails, it would cost you $12. Guys, I'll be honest with you, that's cheap. I used a ton of different sites before this. You had to pay like a monthly fee or an annual fee, and you had to buy all these credits. The fact that you could log in here and like literally look up like one property and spend 12 cents, I love that. And agents will do that. So we get your phones, we get your emails right there. You only pay for what's available. So what happens, it will charge your card up front for all the properties and refund you back for anything that isn't found. The data is provided through CoreLogic, right? Cream of the crop when it comes to high quality data, great data. And this is all live data, so it's not stored. They're going out and actually pulling this data in real time for you. If anyone does anything with leads, there's a variety of different leads. It varies from county to county, right? Again, just depends whether it's whatever your cup of tea is with leads. I don't see divorces on here. Again, that's a county to county thing. But if you're going after leads, those are anywhere from 5 cents to 75 cents a lead, depending on the type of the lead. Last but not least is the mortgage info tab. Okay, this may or may not make sense to you, but I'll share it. Mortgage info tab is now where you can tap into the mortgage specifics of each property, right? maybe I'm looking for refinances and I'm a lender, right? Maybe I want to pull homes above 6% rates, right? Maybe I want to pull certain loan types. Maybe I'm like trying to get creative with subject to deals. Maybe I need to look at certain loan types. Maybe I want to go over here and I want to only pull properties that have an LTV above 50%, so much equity in their home. You can even pull by lender name. It's all in here, okay? So that's a quick briefing overview of Title Toolbox. The last thing I'll show you, these are our save farms. And again, this is where I can save farms, save them in your account. Let's just pretend it's this one. Once you pick your farm, you're going to see something like this. You're going to see all the addresses and information. Now you can export it and download it in so many ways. You can download it specific, all the details within the farm. If you are going to use CoreFact, they actually have a pre-created CoreFact export filter that's set up for you to download into CoreFact, download on your computer, and then upload into CoreFact, so you're ready to go. And then my favorite one, which is right here, is the Facebook one. So they know all the savvy agents that are hitting them with their farm with Facebook and Instagram ads. It's this one right here that you can just upload into Facebook. Questions?
What are you uploading into Facebook?
The phone numbers and the email addresses of the neighborhood that you're farming.
You're uploading it into Facebook?
Correct. Uploading it into the Meta Business Suite. Correct.
It uses that information to find them.
Correct. Because what happens is when Ben Gauze creates a Facebook account and an Instagram account, guess what? He has to provide his email address and his phone number. We can reverse engineer and find Ben if we have his data that's accurate and upload it. And oh, here's Ben. Here's his phone. Oh, yep, we got Ben. Here he is. Here's his Instagram. Here's his Facebook.
The list and have it appended with the emails and phone numbers.
What's that?
Are we able to upload a list?
Yes, great question. You can upload a list. That's another great way to use Title Toolbox. So right over here, there's an upload feature, and maybe you have an existing list. Heck, maybe you got a database and it's just like outdated or got missing info. You can upload that in here and fill in all those phones and emails and data, and then just clean up your existing farm list or existing database list.
And
Great question.
What I'll say on there too, Excel spreadsheets can be, they can be kind of difficult. Jared's kind of a wizard on Excel, so if you have like an old database and you want some help cleaning it up and uploading it into this, Jerad can do, work on an Excel list that would take me 2 hours. He can do it in 5 minutes. So
yeah,
keep that in mind.
Huge nerd.
You have like a weird wonky Excel list.
Yes, totally agree.
I do stuff with a mouse. He does it with the keyboard with all the little coding and.
Ooh, he's a real nerd.
Yeah. So what this looks like, I'll just kind of wrap it up here. I know we're at 11:28. I want to be respectful of your time. I'm a visual person, so check this out. So without a doubt, like if there's one key takeaway, hopefully I've shared some great things. Maybe there's something you take away. I do believe though that without a doubt, you should be running targeted social media, Facebook and Instagram ads, at the very least to your sphere. Throw in your Facebook, Instagram accounts if you have them, but also your farm area, right? So you can see here we're running ads. Here's ads for Colorado Springs, right? Here's awareness ads that I'm running. I can click in here. I understand this is a little bit overwhelming to look at if you haven't seen it before, but what we're looking at here, I just want to show you the math, right? Here's an ad I'm running. I'm a big spender. I'm spending $2 a day. And if I scroll over here, I can see how much I've spent on this campaign, which is $9.01, right? And so far, this ad has been shown impressions 2,917 times to 2,784 people. So if we just break that number down, $9.01 divided by 2,784 times that ad has been shown, I'm paying less than a penny, almost a quarter penny, a quarter of a penny to show this ad to exactly who I want, right? So I'm showing this to my Instagram people, my Facebook people, my list, right? I'm targeting real estate agents, right? So I'm targeting agents, just again for brand awareness, sharing things of value. So it's just so cool, and I'm a big believer in this. I've been doing it for about close to 6 years, to the point where it's weird, right? We live. It's 2024. I can't believe it. And we live in this fast-paced digital environment where you can build these digital relationships with people, right? So ideas of how you could do this, your next event, right? Get the word out here, drive them to your Eventbrite. I love Eventbrite, by the way, huge fan. Have like a recap video or some photos of your last event, right? Share something of value, like lead with a stance of value, and run these targeted ads at $1 a day. And I would be surprised, if you did these for 3 to 6 months, if you did not receive like someone who's like, hey, I saw your thing on this, right? It happens. It totally happens. So it's cool. And again, this is a thing where you save time and you don't have to worry about it because we can work with you and we can help you set these up. And then it's just running and you don't have to worry about it. Again, I could do this with my eyes closed. I've probably helped over 200 agents do it. Last thing, I'll leave you with this. I know it's 11:31. One more way to save time. Who here got a text message from me last night? Sorry, I know that was late. Just one of those days. Guys, this is great, even if it's not necessarily to a farm, but I love using this to get the word out. You all received an individual text message from my real phone number. That was not a fake phone number. I use an app. It's called Reach. There's a lot of apps out there. I think it's like $7 or $8 a month for unlimited text messages. Very, very straightforward, easy to use. You can upload your database. You can upload, your farm area. You can do whatever you want. What I like about it is it sends out what's a personalized, it says your first name, right? Hey, Ben. Text message from your real phone number to that person. So it feels like it is a personalized one-off text message, even though it's a blast, that you can get the word out, whether it's an upcoming event or an open house. Now, I will say this, you got to be careful with privacy laws and rules on text blasting, and I wouldn't encourage you to go crazy and spam people via text message with this. Definitely don't do that, but use it for those people that maybe you do know, or maybe that are in your neighborhood that you do know. Same thing with voicemail drops, slide dial. If you guys have ever heard of that, slide dial. I mean, there's a ton out there, but if you want that ringless voicemail where you can just drop a voicemail on someone's phone, you can send out slide dials. Hey, what's going on? This is Jerad Larkin. I've got an open house coming up on Saturday from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. I apologize about all the traffic that's going to be coming through the neighborhood. Stop on by. We're going to have food, alcohol. There'll be some music. Check out the home. Maybe you know someone that's going to buy it, even if you're not in the market. I'd love to have you, right? I know agents that'll do that. Is that a dark gray area? Absolutely. But that's slide dial. Okay. That's it. I kind of rolled through a lot of stuff. I hope something was good that you took away and this was worth your time. If you please could, that sheet in front of you, if you haven't filled it out with your name and email, go ahead and check that box. And if you're at the bar, I'm just going to make this up. Just leave it where you're at. My last question, though, for you is this, guys. Huge question. There's one more sheet in front of you. If you have to leave, totally cool. If you could, though, there is an orange QR code. Does everyone see the orange QR code? Guys, it would mean the world to me. If you found any value from this class, if you could scan that QR code and leave me a 5-star Google review. My goal this year is to get my Google reviews up to 250. If you found anything of value, that would be huge, whether it's now or later. You have to write anything, just give me the 5 stars. Does anyone have a Google business profile? Anyone getting success from it? It's incredible. Yeah?
You got a nurture it like you nurture
You do.
anything else.
I'm starting to get people that I always ask if I get a phone call or something, how'd you find out about me? Lately, people are coming through and they're finding me from Google and they're reading my reviews. So I'm like, all right, I should probably lean into this thing. So if you could, I would mean the world for me. Thank you. And of course, we'd love to work with you at Chicago Title, or if not, sit down with you and find ways to help you with your marketing. Ben, anything else you want to say?
No, that's it. The bar is open if you guys want a cocktail or a mocktail.